Alrighty, hello every folks. How's things? How's the going on and the happening and the things and the stuff? Hopefully everyone's having a better time than they were this morning. You know, all that kind of business. But think of it, I didn't see what level this box was. I have a feeling these boxes are some crazy level. Because they always seem to do a ton of damage. And be absurdly resilient and all that kind of thing. But yeah. I appear to always find myself back at... Alright, let's try flying out of here. Because I remember somebody was mentioning that I should probably try landing in a particular spot. Buddha mimics? What do you mean? Mimics are so fun, they're the greatest mechanic ever. So what do you think with Sekiro coming out? You think there are going to be mimic ladders in that one finally? Mimic bonfires? I mean, you technically don't need them, so there's no reason why there shouldn't be mimic bonfires. Yeah, I'm not sure that there's any place we can actually land here. Because we need to get inside... Wait a minute. I know where the problem is. Okay, I just need a landing spot now. It's like a mimic put on fire? Yeah, I guess all you really need is a friggin' fire weapon, don't you? So, I guess one of the... Honestly, more so than anything else in the story, the big thing I'm kind of confused about is those gates. Because it feels like after this, there's probably just going to be like a last boss after these, you know, god beasts or whatever. It's like, honestly, where else do you go from there? It's like, you fought god monsters. Well, okay. Then what? Well, I guess, not much after that, huh? But yeah, I'm assuming we're probably just gonna fight the actual boss. Presumably, it's gonna be what's-his-face, like Dracula-looking guy. But he's all overpowered and everything, and then he's probably gonna betray what's-her-face. Because he doesn't need her anymore, and he has to be all super evil and crap. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, we just go up to the left here, which should get us to that tower. Which should presumably accomplish something or other. Like, I'll say the overall return for how little damage we're taking on these encounters not a lot better than the normal dungeons we were going through. Because we're getting 90 for basically harmless fights, whereas in those ones you get 240 for fights that can completely wipe you and you have to spend a bunch of items to actually beat them. Or at least the most efficient way seems to be to dump a bunch of items on them and call them a day. Something like that, anyway. Like, it's kind of a wonder that these guys managed to invade any place at all, given how kind of ridiculous it is for them to get out of their own home. Like, I mean, yeah, nobody's counterattacking, but really, what is this? It's like, I always appreciate when there's when there's logistics thought through in situations like this. Like, I know it's completely unnecessary, and there's really no like proper way to do that. But I just always appreciate when it's thought through. Okay, Mysterious Seed. Hopefully that'll give us something good. I think Mysterious are the good ones. Hell if I know. Yes! Found it! Alright, so. You guys shouldn't be giving us any better stuff yet, but after this, I understand stuff gets awesome. Okay. Because, you know, the game knows that you leveled up, so rather than just giving you better stats, it decides to give you, I guess, cash-locked stats? I don't know. With these, with a lot of RPGs, like, there's been a lot of times when it really was just nicer when they didn't do the whole, like, weapon upgrade thing. Well, at least not in the direct sense. Like, honestly, I think FF8 was probably one of my favorite ones. Actually, FF8 and FF10, I really appreciated, because when you were going through, like with FF8, you did get upgrades and stuff like that, but you didn't need them. Like, usually they just gave some, like, rando bonus and stuff like that. With FF10, your attack power was always the same, but you were just getting, like, little statistical bonuses on top of it, like little customizable things that you just slapped onto there. This is apparently supposed to be the grinding spot for some seeds or something. What are you? Hermilla? Okay. Bloody Wolf? He's so pointy-nosed after everything. Whoa! These guys give some experience. I think we're in the right place. But anyway, I guess the main point I was trying to get is it's always kind of nice when, you know, it's not just a direct upgrade. Granted, I'm kind of criticizing a thing from, like, friggin' 1990 or whatever here, but whatever. I know, it wasn't exactly a field that was explored at the time. I know. Don't worry, not being that guy. It's like, geez, old as hell game, why don't you do more modern stuff? Probably because it couldn't. I mean, this was innovative as hell for the time. I mean, hell, the whole multiple story thing, I can definitely see how this thing sold. But apparently there are 2 respawning mini-bosses or something here. So I think while we're here, I'm probably going to go grind out those items. I've got no clue as to what amount we need of them. Like, I think somebody was mentioning 6 per person of some seed of some description. I don't know if that's accurate, but whatever. This looks like a boss tower if I've ever seen one. I'm assuming one of these, namely this one's probably going to be the statue, and then the other one's going to be... or not. Why on earth would you design it like this? This is twice as much work as you need. They must have been really concerned about fire escapes. Back in my day, we had multiple weapons and we didn't know there were other ways of doing things. It's like, I'm sorry, I need to have just weapon progress every couple feet. Okay. Alright, well, we need to punch a switch somewhere. I think they said it was Moon that had an actual puzzle in it. And I think it might be these Carmilla things. Because they look pretty unique. They look like a thing that would drop unique items. Then again, that being said, like when I was comparing it to Golden Sun earlier... Wait, teleport? No idea what that was about. It said something poofed, or something like that. Like, but yeah, comparing it with Golden Sun there, it's like one enemy that was somehow better than everything else in terms of experience was just some rando bird. What the hell just happened? Huh? Oh, I'm using the wrong one, that's why. Wait, what? What? Yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. It seems like they hang on at 1 HP for a little while, then they just sort of pass out, regardless of how much you heal them for. What? What is that move? Yeah, seriously, they just all pass out regardless of healing. Not to mention that move appears to be just a mass insta-kill, I guess? Also, apparently completely pointless. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, restock on items. And we need more of these things. We need more Bibles. Doing better on those than I expected. Huh? This place is just mean. And yeah, I'm aware I'm screwing this up here right now. Using the wrong character for it and everything. Whew, this place is ridiculous. That just goes up again. Something tells me that there's more of a puzzle to this than I'm currently seeing. This one just goes down. This was previously a different kind of door. At least I thought it was. Ah, and you know what? I just noticed it's actually showing off all of the different kinds of classes they can be, huh? Because that super attack class or whatever else is probably Dark, I think? And then this is Light, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. It's kind of a weirdly binary way of doing stuff, but whatever. Oh, son of a dick. Do that on the walls. Can use this on everybody. By the way, Evan, random question, why exactly has your text changed color like midway through everything here? Alright, this should get rid of her pretty much immediately. Feels like a pretty decent investment of these. Light guy seems immune to this. Changing color, yeah, it was like dark red at the start, and now it's not quite that. I'm not sure why. Just thought it was funny. Oh, that guy needs to go. Seriously, that thing is such crap. And I'm... Let's do this. This goes on Bloody Wolf. This probably won't save our wolf, but it's something. I mean, it technically brought his health back, but he's probably going to instantly pass out anyway. Get anything? Yes, okay. And we get chocolate. Good to know that they still appreciate a good snack. Although, yeah, this is an interesting difficulty jump, I gotta say. It's like it went from completely curb stomping everything a minute ago to just getting completely trounced with no problems. Alright, well, upwards and upwards, I guess. And yeah, I am going to make use of save states here, because I honestly don't feel like redoing this entire area. Because this place feels huge. speaking of huge, yeah, with that KOL thing, even if it winds up not being particularly viable on the whole speedrun side of things, I think we're still going to do solo unarmed. Sounds pretty amusing, I think. Japanese games and your friggin' overpowering ninjas. Alright, with the debuff, let's see how much he does. Wow. Oh, but you just did it! You can't just spam that. I'm sorry, that's bullcrap. Yeah, that is some nonsense right there. It's like, excuse me while I use this multiple, like, 80% insta-kill move multiple times in a row. With no pause in between. Just for laughs. Yeah, you need speed down, buddy. Okay, I don't really know why she's laughing, because she's just getting the crap beat out of her, but whatever. Whatever works. Whatever people are into. Trogdor some cough drops. Probably about time to go restock our items. Like, this one never got a remake, did it? I'm pretty sure it didn't get a remake, but if it did, I really hope that they allowed your items to autofill. Yeah, this restocking mechanic is a little bit iffy. Let's see, got my oil, got my coins, revives, that's what I'm looking for. Sorry about that. No remake. Well, that's a shame. That's a dang shame right there. Then again, with how many different things were going on, I guess I can kind of see why I didn't get one. Probably didn't have a large enough audience, especially because they didn't release it as far as they could have in the first place. Oh, is it yet another landing? How tall do you need this tower, and why exactly couldn't we just land at the top? We literally have a friggin' way to fly? Gotta have a talk with that friggin' dragon. I know you gotta do it right. You gotta go right from the very start. Or you can just land your lazy butt up there. Give me agility. Yes! Yeah, don't know what thunder does, but it's probably pretty dang useful. Alright, tell me you got something useful like a mass debuff that I was hearing you do amazingly? No? Okay. Fine, fine. Must be sounding all turtle-esque compared to normal. Feeling all sloggy. Okay, first things first. Okay, water on Mr. Bloodman. Preemptive heal on everybody, because I thought this was going to be a staircase. You know, before we get squad wiped. And we'll go ahead and pop a couple of these suckers out here to get rid of his health. As it just farts white crap all over the screen. Like, I do like that these guys getting the wolf guys get knocked down from that, by the way. Your moves are bullcrap. Like, I'm assuming once we actually get that ability, it's going to be a really long charge. Like a you've got to attack 12 times before you can use it kind of charge, specifically. Or hell, actually, given how the bars have gone... Actually, no, it is probably going to go up to 12. I want to use this? Yeah, I do. I've got enough. Got enough of these things to spam, I think. So he's going to do his mass kick. 406? What? 406, okay then. Still haven't seen any of these counter moves that are supposed to be becoming very prevalent. But what I have seen is a lot of really absurd single-hit stuff. Okay, that looked like speed down, I think. Looks like potentially a double hit. Something like that. Items, yes, no, maybe so. No items. His place is a ripoff. Okay, so down we go. To go spend more resources. Trade it in for experience, which, speaking of, let's see how close everybody is to getting another level up here. Oh yeah, actually. Tell me what this does. Lowers defense. Okay, so. Wind lowers defense, fair enough. Honestly, I'm kind of feeling like he's a little bit OP. But whatever, that's fine. Looks like we need 14,000. Yeah, that's gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a minute. Oh well, his evade rate is almost 40% though. Which seems pretty okay. Yeah, apparently the highest evade rate you can get is 80, which is only with one of the characters. For everybody else, it's 60. But yeah, surprisingly, it's not the character you'd think would be the evasion character, but it's the one guy with a shield, which, then again, that makes sense. Because for supposedly being a sneaky guy, he sure doesn't do a whole lot of sneaking over there, Steve. Like, I'm being so sneaky, that's why I always run directly at things. With knives, because that's subtle. Subtlety at its best. What the? Okay. I keep comparing this to Golden Sun. This is exactly all of the Lighthouse series. Like, this exact layout. All we need is some floating platforms on the left and right and we're good. Alright, you are a suspicious wall. Why can't I blow you open? Just gonna go here just because I want to see... Oh, nice. I wasn't actually expecting that would be the case, but okay, cool. Cool. So we can go in all nice and fully charged and everything, and for considering all the MP that Sistina has, man, she really does not need to use her abilities more than once per fight. God Beast Dolan, what? Gotta fight Dolan Duck. Alright, well, first things first, let's go ahead and get our buffs going. I still forgot to bring any buffs for Trogdor, but that's fine, because we just need our 2 casters as usual, I'm sure. Dolan, how you've changed. You don't look like a duck at all anymore. What happened? I can't target him. You cannot target him. That's just so goofy. Wonder if any of the Dolan Duck meme people ever knew about this Dolan. Yeah, so I didn't restock my items. Whatever, we might have to redo it. As per usual, just throw change at his eyeball, apparently. And yeah, the trick that I was told for insta-casting, yeah, it's called just use coins. Oh! Hello there, Kafka. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you for the primey type daily. Where is fangs coming out of his lips? Because he does not like to eat comfortably. That's why. Go ahead and get Sustain fixed up here. Will do. And thank you very much. And we'll keep attempting to do the half-decent type stuff over here. Well, I'm glad you liked it. Had fun doing it. It was a dang good time. And actually, there will be more of that coming up pretty soon. For the Sekiro thing, for Sekiro getting released on Monday, I was actually going to start the, for lack of a better term, the Asia % run. Basically, just doing swordmasters, archers, and ninjas. And yeah, glad to support it. When Pan was asking if I wanted to go do community stuff when he was reviving it, I was like, very yes. No. It's a series I grew up with, it's a series I loved. It's been awesome. Absolutely love it. So we'll be, I'm assuming we're getting close to the end of this run, because this is 4 out of 8 of the friggin' god-type creatures, so I'm pretty certain we're going to be wrapping this one up pretty soon. Alright, I don't think we need to do any casts, because Steve's auto-casting the stuff. Alright, is he back in business? Yes, he is. Let's go throw some thunder out there. Oh, actually, by the way, Kafka, a quick thing. Pretty soonish, like, this is... Bear in mind, this isn't, like, technically supposed to be announced kind of stuff going on and all that kind of thing, but there will also be another update at some point, relatively unknown in the near future, let's put it that way. There's no definitive date or any of that, but there's going to be another kind of experimental version for all of that that gigantic update that was happening. You know, namely the formations update and that kind of thing. So that should be pretty neat. Now, again, complications will inevitably come up with that. I don't know when that'll be exactly, but, you know, keep an eye out for that. Holy crap, he's... I'm talking about DBZ stuff earlier, this guy's friggin' doing friggin' Kamehameha Kaz over here. Why are you throwing laser waves at us, man? It's just rude. But just like all the bosses, you can spam stuff so quickly that he's somehow less threatening than all the random fights. Wonder why that is. Why did you make it this way? Let's re-up those debuffs, get the all heals going. He's just standing there all pissed off like, man, I got like one turn to their 8. Gravitron press. Okay, evasion rate reduced doesn't even matter. That was like 30% in the first place. I'll say between all the other god bosses, this guy's probably the coolest looking. Like, maybe second place would be that robot. The thing was pretty alright. Let's do this one, just in case his defense went back up. In fact, I should probably get his speed down even farther. Defense is down, his power should be down. I don't know if mine down is something that Steve can do. Or no, wait, no, it is, it is. Fire's mine down, water's physical down. You know, it would be nice if they said what it actually did, but no. Can't have it on this menu. Excuse me while I rain on you slightly. Actually, you know, that's something that I saw in Tactics Ogre, that's something I saw in this, that's something that I saw in a lot of stuff that always had, like, ninjas with magical crap. What is the deal with them having, like, a little tiny rain cloud? Just, like, a tiny little dribble that falls on top of them angrily. Like, you had I think it was a Sweeten in Ogre Battle, you had, not Undyne, but, you had, just the rain one in Tactics Ogre, and then, yeah, you got this one. Why did they bring it back in the remake? Whatever. Either way, always, like, sad little piss cloud. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. I'm sure there's some cultural reason for it. It's like maybe it's meant to be, like, a really focused water laser or something. Alright, so he's already switched over to Phase 2 type stuff by the looks of it. It looked like Gravitron Press and that Half Moon Slash or whatever it was called. So I'm pretty sure we're no longer in danger, but whatever. Also, how did this guy not topple over this gigantic tower? Oof! Man, that is a rough way to go. His freaking arms blew off. Eesh. This guy's having a bad day. It's like, yes, we've ripped his armors off. Just, we're such good people. Okay, 4 down, 4 to go, so that's the equipment upgrade right there, and I'm assuming probably the last upgrade. So... No, wait. No. There were those items that I was supposed to be farming for. Apparently they show up in a castle courtyard of some description. Which that probably wouldn't be it. So we brought some new armor today. Rumor has it that they sell even better armor in Padan. Jungle west of Buka, you gotta visit. No. That stuff's expensive. I'm just gonna go there. See? See? She didn't... This one didn't automatically completely ruin her sales over here. It's like, hey, you can get way better stuff over here with your limited money. Like, I'm just gonna go get the better stuff. Okay, so... Got the spear. Jug puncher? Wow! Oh no. Please tell me you're not going around punching folks in the jugs. Oh man, I know that's immature, I'm sorry, but Come on now. Jug Puncher? I think it's probably supposed to be Jugular Puncher, but... excuse me. Excuse me. That is just... that's something else. Oh boy. Oh boy. Maturity at its finest. Okay, I guess technically at this point I probably don't need to upgrade his knives. Our Wolf Boy could use his Jug Puncher. Yeah, Rock Claw or Jug Puncher. I wouldn't think this would be the better one. But if you say so. If you say so. I feel like we're probably out of the woods in terms of serious upgrades for weapons. I'm sure we have to be getting to the point where stats are going to start overwhelming them and all that kind of thing. But either way, that's all we can afford for the time being, so we'll probably go take out one more and then probably be able to get everyone's final upgrades there. So I know Jungle Zone's got the better stuff. So that's where I'm going to be heading next. So let's go check that mess out. Hop onto Falcor. Now, a quick backtrack real quick here, because look, why are none of these dots disappearing? Like, it's probably like a matter of programming laziness or something, where they didn't want to maybe have a different, or maybe they ran out of space for having a different state for the world map. But none of them are disappearing, which doesn't really make the, you know, notifying where things are any better here. So, Forest of Wonder. Or was it supposed to be the jungle of something or other? Yeah, Lampflower Forest. Check out this place. Yeah, that's the Moonlight Forest. That's where we just were. What about over here? Are you a jungle? Jungle of Illusion. Oh, wait a minute. Is that at all related to, what is it like? Apparently, hang on. It's like Secret of Mana, Secret of Gaia, I think? Sword of Mana, Illusions of Gaia? Is that... It's probably completely irrelevant, but still. Okay, come on, find the sweet spot. Where's the landing hole? Find landing hole. Come on, Falcor. Come on. You can do it, buddy. You can do it. There we go. Look, it's a clearing. We can land in this. Oh, good. We can land in the clearing. Good, 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 good. Ah, I don't even slightly remember the layout of this place. Although it's very happy music for some random jungle. Wait a minute. This was the island, wasn't it? The volcano island. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Got some ruins or some such here. Alright, what are you all about? Yeah, this I don't remember. What the hell? Okay. Huh, okay. Well, a way to say that this is where you get all your endgame gear. Yeah, I guess in that case we'll go buy from the cats, huh? Well, as soon as we have more money. We're kind of not exactly broke, but definitely getting towards broke. I guess for now, we'll go find us a volcano. Although by the looks of it, we probably kind of sort of found some fragment of the city. Maybe? Kinda? I don't know. It's unclear. Oh, by the way, funny note. So in terms of the name, like, Dragon Emperor or whatever that he called him there, that's actually a title that a guy has to this day. As in, like, I think it was, it's like Cambodia or something? Or something, I don't know, one of the smaller Asian countries actually has a guy called the Dragon Emperor, who's apparently kind of a big celebrity over in the region and everything. Apparently his entire job is just running around being nice to people. Which, yeah, you wouldn't really expect from somebody called the Dragon Emperor, but hey, whatever works. Okay, so Moon Reading Tower, no, we did that one. Merchant City by Zell. Left of the Earth, we did this. Okay, so we cleared out the middle of the map. We've done the ice hole. So, I guess Moonland is next. Let's go find Moon. Wait, what? Weird, this must be that weird, alternate entrance. Yeah, no, it's just right here, he wasn't kidding. Okay. Thank you for settling armor over here. Sure would be nice if he didn't send me to a literal city that didn't exist anymore in order to buy stuff that you know, could have just been making sales off of. Okay, so we got sweet masks and crap. Ooh, okay, that is not worth it. That that is a lot of money for very little gain. You already have that. You don't have that. This, funnily enough, is like the exact same sprite of, I think it's like the tier 2 armor for your main guy in Secret of Mana 1. I think we'll just get this. Seems like the most worthwhile upgrade for the time being. Like, honestly, as long as we have one character that manages to survive getting hit, pretty much everybody's surviving. Just because we can instantly revive the entire party. And I have to say that Steve is looking so effeminate at this point, I constantly think he's Stina. Like, that's not meant as a commentary of any description, I'm just saying, like, it's really hard to tell them apart now. Like, look at the two of them right next to each other. They both got blue armor and almost the same shade of hair. And if I was to pick which one of them looks more feminine between the two of them, I'd say it's Steve. It's weird. Okay. Darth Matango, what? Super devil mushrooms, apparently. Oh, wow, they give experience like crazy. Man. Freaking worthwhile mushroom picking over here. Victory. But at what cost? So we've already lost... well... already lost almost half our health from the very first encounter. Against enemies that barely fought back. Okay, so... given that we've got a crap ton of flame coins, I'm actually just going to use those to get through this area. I know we need the dark ones here, but... I only have one moon coin, apparently. So that's not really going to do us much good. The other stuff's pretty spammable, though. Actually, no. Moon and... what's it? Moon and wood were apparently the ones that were opposed. I don't think I have any... I don't know, table coins? What would you call them exactly? I mean, whatever. If this place is wood... nope. Fire burns wood real good. We'll assume that does something. Poda oils are starting to get a little bit low. And we're almost out of revives as well, so... Yeah, I think after this we're gonna have to go to the black market and friggin' restock. And exactly, Sith mushrooms. Turns out Darth Plagueis was secretly just like one of those fluffy white ones that you're never supposed to pick in the forest. Actually, fun fact, like one of the weird memories I had from when I was a kid is like, so we would go mushroom picking whenever we went. Hell, this story needs some backstory. Okay, so there was a sort of like a nutrition type of business that my mom had done for a while. Granted, most of it turned out to be a sham later, but still. Okay, Parabon oil, Mr. Death God. Why? Why is that a thing that can happen? Okay, bye. Not wasting an item to get you back to full health. I'm just gonna use this friggin' honey. That does seem like a really weird thing, because there's no point in going and using your more expensive items, which is seemingly what they want you to do. Anyway, so to finish that story. Right, so there was this whole nutrition business thing. We would go with clients to... We would get invited, once per year to go to North Carolina to go to the mountains. And so they had this cabin kind of thing out there, and it was pretty awesome. Got to hang out with... they had this farm with dogs and everything. It was pretty great. The point being, they had this trail, and so she had insisted that everybody go mushroom picking. Apparently that was a very Eastern European thing to do. And so, apparently I was really bad at picking out which mushrooms were good. So finally, I was just given a job like, okay, here, take this stick, and every one of these white puffy mushrooms that you find, just beat the hell out of it with this stick. So I would just like run scouting ahead, just like finding all the poisonous ones, and just beat them with a stick. Because apparently I was a lot better at finding the poisonous ones than the good ones. But, whatever, whatever works. But it was fun. Like, that part was legitimately fun. But what the hell is Matango oil? Actually, wait. It was in my quick select. What is that? Carbon alloy, HP max up. What? Yes? Yeah, Steve's max health is crap, so let's do that. Wasn't where we were getting stat item drop. What? That upped it by almost 100. What? Man, if that's a random drop, holy hell. We're about to cheese the hell out of this if that's the case. Forget progress, everybody's getting max stats. Okay, let's try this Matango oil, see what that does. Like, MP up! We get 700 MP out of nowhere. Magical reflection barrier for one. Wow. Yeah, these guys' drops are amazing. So, magic immunity. That's definitely something. What other oils we got here? I think I saw at least one more oil drop. No? Apparently not. Okay. Left or rightwards and onwards, and this is not the right direction. Good to know. Good to know. Everybody should be almost leveled up soon too. Darth Matango. Okay, so gotcha. So Matangos are these guys. Parobans. Hang on, wait, that's... Okay, so yeah, Matango's the reflection barrier. It's those mushrooms that must be dropping the other thing. Foundation? Wait, it's gonna go start a non-profit? Man, those non-profit evil Sith living in a living in a cave over here. As you do. Which, to be fair, I guess most non-profits are, disturbingly profitable, but hey, such life. Yeah, life booster. So, that's weird. That's what okay, that's weird. So, apparently... Huh. I guess you gotta kill off those guys first before they can use their item and you get an HP max up. Oh, but it's temporary. Never mind. Never mind. I was gonna say, that would be really busted if that was the case. But yeah, boosted by seemingly about 100. I think, right? Put him up to 560. So like 93 for some reason? Yeah, apparently it was a temporary health boost. That sucks. I thought it was going to be a permanent stat up. That'd be great. Wow. That evasive mushroom, though. Yeah. Well, no point in grinding something that isn't super broken. Although I do have to say this place is much safer for actual grinding. Matango! This Matango oil is gonna be pretty friggin' amazing, though. So yeah, magic community. When that's literally all that's been scary so far, aside from those wolves. Which, by the way, given that I've been told that the best offensive ability in the game is apparently attached to the wolf, specifically the Death Hand, and considering that guy sure as hell looked like the most evil version of him, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that yes, he is absolutely gonna be that exactly. What is going on here? Am I missing something? No. Apparently it's just a peek of, oh, what's over this way. Yeah, do not want to redo the wolves. That mess was ridiculous. Come on, everybody, spam your ults. Do the thing. I thought you might automatically get that item if you spammed it. No luck. Still no idea where I'm going either. But, you know, presumably we'll get there at some point. Man, I need to drink some friggin' water. Voice is starting to crack here because of how dry it is. Serious, the weather cannot decide what it is. Like, even remotely. Today, or rather, to give you an idea, and I know I repeat this ad nauseum at this point, but, like, yesterday, started off as a nice spring day, it was nice and warm, snowed the whole rest of the day, this morning everything was completely frozen, then it was warm for a while, now it's cold and rainy out. Because, yeah, as it goes. Alright, let's go Vitality, just to make him, you know, I just want him to be as ridiculously high health as possible. I figure nothing's going to be doing that much damage. X. By the way, if you've never played Secret of Mana 1, I don't know why they didn't keep the chest opening animation. Like, they kept the dancing merchants, which those are pretty funny, but it has the single greatest chest opening animation I've ever seen, in which he literally just picks the chest up with one hand and bashes it on the ground until it opens. it's really good. Okay, so we've got an armored up Beedrill over there. It's okay. You suck even past your evolutions. Apparently even your Mega Evolution isn't very good. I wouldn't know, I never play that game competitively. Wow. That evasion rate, though. He's just there matrix dodging everything. There's that luck bonus. I don't get a luck bonus, but I do get more agility. Alright, what ability do we get this time? We don't get one, what a ripoff. Okay, item seed, fair enough. Be-doo. That right there was mostly just a test to see how much damage they did, which is actually still pretty decent. And also an excuse for me to go grab a drink of water real quick. As you do. Feels good to be nice and feeling good again, though. Gotta say, that felt real crappy for a few days. I think after chugging enough water and chugging enough Gatorade and having enough Pepto-Bismol, I think I'm finally back up to mostly normal condition at this point. Digimon fan? I never really had a chance to get into it. It's like, it's one of those things I would see it every now and then and had no idea what the difference was at the time. And wound up looking at it a little bit more after the fact. And then really was not any less confused as to what the hell I was looking at. But it was pretty funny to see some parodies of it. You know, when I was growing up, it was mostly just Pokemon around. Could only convince expenditure towards one thing, and like, man, when I was a kid, it took a lot to go and try to get my way on anything, and most of the time, it wasn't even like if there was a Christmas or something, you know, decent chance after a hell of a lot of sales pitches that something, you know, something towards the list would end up coming my way, but like most of the time it was like I would just go and do a bunch of chores and collect random pocket change until it was possible to go grab something. So I ended up scouting stuff out forever, and man, it took forever to get Knight of Lotus, I gotta say. It took ages, but it was worth it. This was one of those ones where I was saving up forever, and then I got a little bit of a surprise. Because then my dad brings me over there and is like, yeah, you know what? I'll just get it for you. Like, man, this is so much nicer than I'm used to. Which is kind of funny, because it was this weird back and forth between... She intentionally had... there was a regular thing where she was intentionally trying to spoil people, or make it look like she was spoiling everyone around, and then went out of their way to make everything not worth it. Like, it's hard to even describe how that works. It's like everything comes with way too many catches that it's never even worth it. So, like, if you've ever seen this weird trope in dramas where just somebody really doesn't trust, you know, some random parental figure or something like that, and it's just like they're weirdly suspicious of their every single move, even if they seem good. That's exactly where that comes from. But anyway, Digimon SRPG game coming out this... What? That's random. Huh. Well, I mean, if it's a decent strategy game, then hell yeah, I guess I'll become one. I'm assuming it probably won't make a whole lot of sense unless you played them. Though then again, Then again, I did promise folks if I ever... Well, actually, I'm hopefully pretty close to finally getting everything financially sorted, but, what was it? Pretty darn hopeful to be able to do that one that I can't remember the name of right now. God dang it! The one on Steam that's like FFT. Everyone keeps asking me to do, and I can't remember its name like 80% of the time. That one. Hopefully doing that soonish. Probably, I don't know, hopefully next month or so. So you got lucked when it released on PS1 because it looked kind of cool, and naturally got KO when it was released. How was that transition? Dude, it's the Pumpkin King! God beast Miss Palim. Okay, first things first. There's some weird chill music for this guy. Fell Seal, there we go. I don't know why, that name does not stick in my brain. Couldn't tell you why. Yeah, if this boss fight right here wasn't on the box art, what were they doing? Is he not sold on Fell Seal after watching some streams? Need to do more research? Well, folks have asked me to look at it, so we'll definitely give it a shot. Plus, it's pretty cheap. It's like one of those things where as soon as it's possible to, you know, get on with life, as it were, Get out of this annoying hole that I've been in for a billion years, it feels like. And then hopefully it'll be time to review it. Also, I really thought those hands were maybe a different boss. Or different units, rather. Oh, by the way, speaking of indie games and all that kind of thing, if you were looking at Mecho's story, it's actually gotten a ton of updates recently. I took a look yesterday because I was talking with the dev behind it and everything, and I didn't even realize just how many updates came out. Like, it was a lot. That guy's cranking out updates like crazy. So if you're interested, just so you know, they are pretty much tailoring the game to what folks want. I mean, the core of the ideas is there. Actually, I haven't seen if we're even doing any damage to this guy. As I want to say his damage numbers are actually appearing off screen. Alright, well, I mean, I guess we'll just keep spamming attacks, because I literally cannot see if we're doing any damage. So, whatever works. At the same time, can't help but notice that he's got a happy and sad state, so there's always a reasonable possibility that you can only attack him during one of those states. Now, that did 0. He's got counters, that's what that is. Okay, well, finally, I guess we can stop spamming. Ooh, this is gonna take a while. Okay. Yeah, this guy seems like the intro to the anti-magic units. Yeah, that's what it is. You just can't magic him. There is one thing. Apparently one of her classes has a counter to the counter. And we're out of... Out of those items. Out of the Poto Oil. Kill the sticker. Okay. And that was an interesting animation, I suppose. Actually, random thought coming to mind right now. Like, if we're at a point here where suddenly casters are kind of getting, I guess, put down as it were, and coins have kind of been the meta up to this point. I wonder if that's why such items like the hand axe and dart actually exist. I wonder if they don't proc those abilities. Now, of course, it's not a randomly occurring chance, but still, you know what I mean by proc. Alright, a little bit dire on the old stats front here, though. Or on the items front, rather. Definitely getting lower on his health. We can still spam revives after this, though. Should have picked up one of those claw items as well. Although aside from that, we just seem to be crushing them. That's about it. Doesn't seem to be too much trouble to this. And if you're wondering, yes, that was actually on purpose. Saving the last full heal for Trogdor here, because he was getting pretty close. He's definitely going to get the most value out of it. And then from there, I can probably just spam revives, and we should be okay, I hope. See if he counters this. He doesn't seem to counter that. Oh, there he goes. Ah, I see. Okay, so yeah, no, that still will only work on attacks, so that's perfectly fine. See, we're fine. We got this. Hopefully. This is definitely one tough pumpkin. Like, I will say, based off of every Halloween I've ever been part of, pumpkins, generally speaking, not that durable. Annoyingly difficult to carve at times. But yeah, as soon as they've been sat out there for a minute, they love to break. They're very, very breakable. Dang, it sounds like this RPG is unrealistic or something. Unacceptable. One very hardy pumpkin. He is the pumpkin squasher. No, he's the autumn squasher, that's who he is. Now I really want some autumn squash soup. You know what? Friggin' spring needs to get here, summer needs to piss off, and then fall needs to get here. Because I really want some autumn squash. You know what? There should just be a new rule that it needs to be autumn forever. Forget all the other seasons. Like, spring's alright. Winter... I used to love winter when I lived in Florida. I used to love winter when I lived in New Mexico. You know what? Winter is pretty alright in California, too. You know where winter sucks? Michigan. Because, good lord, just like, everything gets all frozen and disgusting and horrible. It's almost like that's kind of how that works, huh? Okay, so... here's what we're going to do. Sistina seems to just resist stuff pretty well. Trogdor... well, let's put this on Steve for the moment. Everything sucks in Michigan? Yeah, I will say the drivers... oh boy. Like, I thought I saw some bad drivers in Florida when I was over there. Like, I mentioned the story several times now, but there was, like, one Christmas I literally saw 5 crashes just on the way to the dang store that was a few blocks away. And still, you manage to find geniuses that will top that every single time. Like a while ago, I was just driving along, and just, you see people speeding through parking lots and things like that, and then just get all surprised when you're pulling out backwards in a completely blind area. I'm like, no, it's just a complete surprise. Also, I have to say, that's crap right there, because I had the menu up. And the only reason that happened... I mean, we have a save state right here. The only reason that happened... Getting out of here. Yeah, the only reason that it happened is because it has that whole ticking between 1 and 0 thing. Alright, so first little experiment. Does this do what I think it does? Second thing, let's go ahead and just debuff you to all hell. Okay, that seems to hit just fine. So I'm just gonna have him spam that. Yeah, that's fine. As long as he keeps spending his turns doing that, I don't really care. Yeah, this actually seems to have him stuck in a little bit of a loop here. Because he keeps trying to deflect this over and over. I wonder if I can drain him out this way. Found an AI loop. Now, this just basically reaffirms my whole thing from earlier, that shurikens just break everything. No, I guess not. He finally got an attack off. That only took him half an hour, but hey, you know, he eventually got there. Thanks for trying. He's trying so hard. Trogdor's being a little bit too useful over here. Quick, let me run back and forth very, very slightly. Eventually I might even try to punch something or something. So how's that weather? It's, excitement over a pumpkin that just won't die is, just a little bit too much to bear here. I mean, he's still ticking. He's still doing his best. Just trying and trying. Still countering that ability that I have no intention to actually hit at any point. Those sassy shurikens. It's too sassy for this world. More Mission Cloudy? I'm jealous, man. Where are you at, anyway? Like, just vaguely. Because I think you're in Midwest, right? Or not Midwest, why do I always mix up Midwest and East? I know, it's a very specific thing to mix up. But I think you're in the same time zone here. And again, I can never seem to remember where anyone's from, so... Let's just... probably chalk up to another one. Central Ohio? Okay, so, well... Then we'll pretend I just stuck to the first one. Kind of. Sort of the general middle-ish region. Hence your disdain for Michigan? Fair enough, fair enough. Well, I mean, how's it going down there in that Ohio? With all your fancy not getting snowed in every 5 seconds. Man, look at this item efficiency, though. We're doing so much better this time. Wait, his hit rate went down? Apparently the shurikens make their hit rate go down. How about that? He's all happy and he's all like, oh man, I got knifed. Avoided most of the snow all year, only had to shovel twice, maybe 3 times the most. Jealous. I mean, hell, I don't even, like, we don't even technically have a house yet, and it's like one of these things where we have to constantly get the snow out of everywhere. except it's more like however much you can move away with your boot, and then just however much will take care of, take care of it. Wow, I'm bad at words today. However much will get taken care of by the ridiculous amounts of salt you have to throw down everywhere because you don't have a shovel on account of, being in an apartment. And hello there, good lord, how do I even pronounce that? Exor... There we go, that. Thank you for the follow. I have zero idea how to pronounce your name, but nice to meet you. Alright. So, you are joining us at a time when we are stunlocking a pumpkin for a billion years. This thing has apparently decided to win by attrition rather than outright fighting. I guess it's a good way for a plant to go, really. It's just gonna come back after winter every year. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna take this time to top everybody off. Actually, the screen name there kind of reminds me of a lot of RuneScape names you'd see back in the day. Like friggin' Exor Ranger X or whatever. Like it's always the one archer pure that showed up in the wilderness to friggin' wreck your face. Like, why are there so many of you? Like, I know it's effective, but good god, it's boring. Like, so yeah, if you never play that game, long story short, you had an entire area, like just a huge area of the map dedicated only to PvP, and a lot of times the plot would directly take you through there, through kind of the fringes of it, just so you're not taking, not getting completely wrecked all the time. But then you'd see really, really, really optimized accounts. So the way the combat system worked is for every level that you got in a particular combat-related stat, your overall combat level would go up, which would mean if you had like a jack-of-all-trades, you would essentially just constantly be at a deficit compared to everybody else. And the one that got the best returns by a pretty wide margin was ranged, so just basically anything related to like archery, javelin throwing, which no one ever did, crossbows, cannons, whatever you wanted to use. Because it's just you got all of your attack and strength from a very simple renewable thing. You didn't have to invest anything extra. It was just a no-frills kind of thing. It was easy to get up, easy to be sustainable, and easy to replace in case you actually did eventually die. But anywho, main point I'm trying to get across there is, yeah, that you'd see characters that just specifically spec'd in only that. And so, like, if they showed up, and you always knew because they always had really crappy armor because their defense wasn't high enough to actually equip anything decent. But then just like they just insta-killed you the second that you were within range. It's like, not sure about this balance, but whatever. Fair enough, I guess. I mean, they made their character like this. You should get rewarded for it. And of course, I was the moron sitting there with like a beret, a spear, and some friggin' like chain vest. Which is, if you're curious, about the worst possible situation you could go with, is A, berets are expensive. Those are like 100 grand in that game. So, already bad choice right there. Friggin' spears, which spears are like hands down the worst weapon in that game, because they're basically heavy. Their main selling point is the fact that they can do all types of damage, which it really doesn't matter. Like, it could not be any less relevant. And then on top of that, they end up taking both hands, so you don't even get a shield. Later on, they kind of rectify that in that you could make almost irreversible changes to a spear, and then you get a massive defense penalty for using it by making it one-handed. Yeah, they really, really, really didn't like spear users for some reason. Anywho, so yeah, and then you had chain vests, which were honestly just... it was either you went plate or you went something else. Like, the whole point of chain in that game is kind of like it's light-ish armor that you still get some of the benefits of having melee-specific armor. It's relatively light, and then you don't get as many penalties for range or for casters. But at that point, you're really just better off using ranged armor. Period. Wait, what game? RuneScape. Like, it's an MMO with a surprising amount of actual character building. There's... honestly, most of the grinding is for resources. And even then, sometimes you just get lucky and it takes you no time at all. Like, crafting, I'd say, is probably the one thing that it just absolutely sucks as a skill. But then you do get some decent stuff out of it, and then some people just become merchants for those kinds of skills. So usually somebody maxes out a skill, they start selling whatever they can make using that skill, and it feels weirdly natural. Like, that's what I liked about it. It was far less focused on, like, go kill and friggin' skin the rears off a billion bears, and a lot more of, like, just go pick some plants, make some bowstrings, go find some people that are training fletching, you know, make a few bucks, use that to go down to the people training their fishing over there, and then essentially use that to go get your items for healing, meaning you can go do other stuff and hopefully not die because you got your fish that can heal you. That kind of stuff. I didn't play much of that for some reason. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, even right now, like RuneScape Classic, I've gotten back into that a couple times now. It still holds up really well. How do I put it? Old school RuneScape is actually what it's referred to as now. RuneScape Classic is the old version that is now dead, actually. Like, they officially killed it, I want to say, like a year ago. But that was the one that looked like somebody just made it in MS Paint. Anywho, though, like, just old school RuneScape, just look it up. It's a really solid game. Despite being an MMO, it's legitimately a game first and MMO second. If somebody made a one-player version of that, you could just, you know, go play on the go or whatever, would have gotten it at some point. Whew. Man, that dog has some gas. Oh, that is vile. Jeez, what are you doing over there? What is that stank? Does this thing die at some point? Did it finally die? There we go, finally! That literally took half an hour of just beating that thing. And it's still got its tendrils. That just disappeared. Okay. They just poofed out of existence, sure. Did it kill itself? No, I think it was just delayed damage off one of the hits. Falcor! Okay, so that takes care of Moon over here. That takes care of this one. Takes care of this one. Takes care of this one. So that's 5. So it's just these 3 clustered up ones down here. Oh. Right. That's the light one, okay. Can I just zoom on in there? No? Rolante, can I come in? There we go. Apparently we just go through a slightly alternate entrance this time. I suppose you guys will let us into your fancy castle anymore? I mean, we're trying to help you and everything. You're all like, oh man, it's prayer though. Well, does your prayer have stats? Because I'm not sure it does. The one chick that used prayer stats apparently is not in our team, so it doesn't really do us much good. But yeah, so like back on the whole RuneScape thing, like the zombies here reminded me of it. But part of the reason it reminded me is it honestly had one of the better kind of undead storylines I've seen in the game. Specifically, you have an entire area that's, yeah, at first you go in there, it just seems all crappy and horrible and everything else. And as time goes on, let's just say the entire region ends up transforming, like going from this hostile, horrible hellscape to a place that it's kind of understandable why people are actually living there. Like the usual trope of like, why is everybody living in a weird zombie apocalypse and all kind of thing. Like they have an entire town that's just ghosts. And eventually you can start even setting up a trading route between your kingdom and the ghosts and stuff like that. Which yeah, you can eventually own a small province and stuff like that. just for the purposes of selling or buying and selling resources and stuff. Shug Puncher is just too good. Okay, so Taishaku. Can't get that last dagger, but that's fine. I mostly use him for his casting abilities these days. Let's see what we can get armor-wise. Actually, wait a minute. Which one were we supposed to be doing last? God, I can't remember now. Get that one extra defense, because we're apparently bad at making monetary decisions like that. Spent 4 grand for that one defense. Dark suit, sure. And let's get Wolf Boy in here, and what are you gonna do? What's he got? Blue uniform? Wow, that's significant. Okay. That'll do. That'll do. I'm not gonna bother selling anything at this point. Because actually I should probably double check and make sure we even have the items to make it through this one. Grizzly Gorea. We got better defense now, so at least there's that. And there we go. So hold off on selling stuff. We could use more revives. I kind of wish the cats sold some equipment for us. Take these earth coins out just for the sake of having something to spam. Let's see, we've got 24 of these, so yeah, if I just spam a bunch of coins in every room, then we should probably be okay. Actually, yeah, no, we're still good on revives. So yeah, as long as we just kind of blitz through it, then we should be good to go. Save state right there, just for good measure. Let's see, got about 20 minutes. Hell, that might not even be enough to beat the boss on its own. Yeah, we're definitely in the right place. Figured it was going to be in one of these circular platforms. It's all nice and chill and quiet over here. It's nice. It's very nice. Hello there, Mr. Cowman. How are things? So yeah, we are currently at 5 out of 8 of the god creatures, all completely crushinated. So far so good. Only a few bucks off of getting everybody their upgrades that they need. So far so good. I'd say overall it's going pretty positive. And yeah, this area seems way easier than the last ones. I'm assuming they just had to make it winnable. Man, if everything was as hard as the wolf place, screw that. really glad we didn't save that one for last. Okay, back. Sorry about the random delay. Just have to go double check some stuff. Okay. Actually, another thing that occurs to me is I completely forgot about that whole day of bloody blah mechanic. So it's very possible when we went into the wolf place that they were just really overpowered because their day was up. It's always a possibility. Let's make items spammable. Like, ridiculously spammable. Like, you can use them every half second kind of spammable. This actually feels like the same kind of thing that you could do in Merchant of the Black Queen for the SNES version. Because they don't really get a whole lot of a turn when you can just do this. Funnily enough, I think it's even the same button that you spam in order to bring up your menu in order to be able to do this infinitely. And it's, while I'll always say that the PS1 version was just better for March of the Black Queen, because it literally was just like, you could spam however many cards you wanted. So the Joker cannon was functionally unstoppable, even if you made a really crappy party. Alright. Reload the flame coins. Maybe it's like, maybe it's kind of like New Vegas. You just make a shotgun out of these coins. Just make some shot shells out of this. It's weird how we're getting graphical glitches, but only in this particular map. And only in particularly wind-affected areas. But yeah, it was always a neat little little lore thing for New Vegas. That's one of the cheaper shoddy type of ammunitions you could make. It was just basically, oh man, I got made tiny, but I'm already dang short, man. I don't need to be even tinier. Then the jokes will just get more intense. Alright, let's go agility on him, see if it gives him anything good. Probably not really. I recall that he might have learned ability at some point, but I don't really remember for sure. Okay, that is some... Oof. Man, it looks funny, but it sure doesn't feel funny. As it just instantly party wipes. Let's just drop a quick save state right there. Thank you, random enemy that is freakishly stronger than anything else. Yeah, I can't up my two best stats, so let's go Vitality. Give him a little bit more survivability here. Them insta-wipe moves. Like, realistically, our best bet is actually to go back and get more items. I don't know. I'm just thinking, hopefully we'll just be able to spam our way through the fight and that's it. Hopefully. Zero guarantees of it, but hopefully. Alright, so where's this new route? Double dodge! Okay, can you get int? Definitely want luck on her. Yeah, I think strength and int would be best for her. And I think the statue was over here. Still is. Okay. And here's open. Here's open we didn't get completely put in the wrong direction here. Although, unless this boss is quick, I'm gonna have to wrap it up pretty quickly here. It's only got like 10 more minutes, so we might be starting off next part with a boss. I feel like we're getting pretty close to the end of the game, but man, their HP pools are getting nuts. Oh, are we gonna have a sky fight? Oh, nice. Nice. Wait, what? The hell? We had to go all the way just to be able to look at the sky. Okay, then. Nice. It's a multi-griffin. Well, first order of business here. Have the right character. I'm just gonna throw out the buffs right now. Let's start off selecting the wrong characters. It's funny because this guy's almost got like surf music going on. Meanwhile, the werewolf is just sitting there like, man, I could not be any more useless for this fight. Yeah, this is really cool. I like this. We got defense down, power down. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if the different versions of this stack or not, but couldn't hurt, right? Looks like he got healed by the wind one. Which makes sense, he's the wind guy after all. Now, for comparison's sake, let's go ahead and throw a shuriken at him and see if it does more damage, because I think it will. Yeah, it does. So it's just 400 for every time that we're doing this. He actually got an attack off. Man, that's disappointing for you. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, sir. Very disappointing for you. Okay, first heal. Just notice his name is Dangard. Would be supposed to be the Dawn Guard. Did Skyrim rip off this game? Wouldn't be too surprised. Sorry for repeatedly opening and closing the menu. Not what I'm trying to do there. Ooh, I think I might have done it. Is that it? Oh, phase 2? Okay, wasn't expecting that. Well, let's get his defenses down again. Nerf his stats into oblivion. Kinda does feel a little bit like bullcrap that your stats don't carry over between different things. Because it's not like much change, it's just the camera perspective that moved. It's adorable. You tried. I know, Multi-Griffin, you're giving it your best. There's really only so much you can do here. Let's face it, you're the gimmick fight. Which is cool. I like that it's a gimmick fight, you know. It's neat to see. Definitely a cool bit of perspective. Falcor is surprisingly chill with all this. In fact, it kind of seems like we should just have him eat this thing. Like, seriously, doesn't it just look like he could just fly up there and just gnome? Friggin' swallow this guy for a snack? I think we got the better end of the creatures deal here. Sounds a little bit like a Skarmory, too. Choo-choo. Meanwhile, Steve is just sitting there with his machine gun loaded with shurikens. Just endlessly nuking everything. Kinda wish I could just have him auto-casting that somehow. And perspective change number 3. Apparently. It's only the first head's dead. Oh boy, we're gonna be here a while. Should be all the stats down. Steve only's got 2 shurikens left in him anyway. Oh, wait. Panicking for nothing that literally didn't do anything. Okay, seems his gimmick is debuffing everybody at once, which still doesn't really matter that much. We can just heal right out of it. Poke, 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 poke. Poke, 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 poke. Come on. We already got this. You can just fall down to the ground, please. That'd be greatly appreciated. Hmm. Maybe I should have done this guy first. This is taking a really long time. Pretty sure I was specifically told to do this one last. Because apparently... Hang on, was it this one? I don't know. There was one of them that you end up getting a whole bunch of money for if you do it last, apparently. Okay, we done? Don't. Not okay. I mean, he's looking pretty ragged, I'll tell you that much. Anytime now. Where are those rocks coming from? Alright, come on, you resilient bastard. I'm down to just revive items already. She just swan dives straight off this guy. How much health does this guy have, for real? Pretty sure we passed ridiculous a long time ago here. Oh, finally. Man, that only took 1 billion years. Thing's made out of bullcraptanium. Okay. And then there were 2. However, that's all the time I got for today. So, that'll be that. Thank you guys for stopping by. Have a fantastic one. And yeah, see you next time for the last 2 and quite possibly the end game. So, see you then. Take care.